Our protagonist can literally see the future, and on top of that, he's got a crazy yandere girlfriend who's completely obsessed with him and will do absolutely anything to protect him. Yuki Amano is your typical loner. No friends, no social life. He spends most of his time quietly watching everything around him and writing it all down in his diary. The only people he really talks to are his imaginary friends. Deus, who calls himself the god of time and space, and his assistant, Murmur. That's pretty much Yuki's whole routine, day in, day out. Then one day, everything changes. Deus suddenly asks Yuki if he wants to join a little game, handing him the power to predict the future through his phone. He promises it'll finally add some excitement to Yuki's dull life. Thinking it's all just part of his imagination, Yuki agrees without a second thought. The next morning, things start getting weird. Yuki wakes up and notices new entries in his diary, stuff he doesn't remember writing. It predicts he'll hit a double bullseye in 2 minutes, and that a news story about a serial killer will break in 10 minutes. Confused but not too concerned, Yuki brushes it off and goes about his day. Sure enough, when he throws his dart, he lands a perfect double bullseye. Then, while eating breakfast, the news breaks about a serial killer, exactly like the diary said. That's when it clicks. The diary isn't just a journal anymore, it's predicting the future. At school, it happens again. The diary predicts a surprise quiz and even a classmate accidentally cutting her finger. Both happen right on schedule. Now Yuki's really starting to panic. He reaches out to Deus again, and this time he learns the truth. Deus is real, and so is the game. Before Yuki leaves, Deus gives him one critical warning. Don't break your phone or you die. At first, Yuki is overwhelmed with fear, but then he realizes as long as the phone stays intact, he can use the diary to control his life, and that's exactly what he does. He starts acing his tests, rising to the top of his class with perfect scores. When jealous classmates try to ambush him, he easily dodges their plans with the diary's help. The power gives him a rush of confidence he's never felt before. During one of his tests, Yuki notices Yuno, a girl in his class, staring directly at him. After school, things get even stranger. He finds a Murmur doll sitting on her desk. Right then, his phone glitches and flashes a new, terrifying entry. He's going to be murdered in just a few minutes. Panicking, Yuki can barely process what's happening when Yuno casually walks in and tells him he's about to die. Freaking out, he bolts from the classroom and starts running for his life. But no matter where he goes, Yuno somehow keeps showing up ahead of him. Desperate, he jumps into an elevator. But even there, Yuno appears. Cornered and panicking, Yuki grabs a dart to defend himself. But instead of attacking, Yuno does something unexpected. She kisses him. Then, she points out the real killer standing outside, a man who, just like them, also has a diary. But Yuno's diary works differently. While Yuki predicts his own future, Yuno tracks his future every 10 minutes. She calls it her diary of love. And at that moment, Yuki realizes he's got a serious stalker on his hands. According to Yuno's diary, Yuki's murder is supposed to happen on the 14th floor. So instead of going there, they head up to the rooftop to avoid it. The killer eventually arrives and starts searching for them. As planned, Yuno steps out to distract him. That's when Yuki makes his move. He throws his dart and smashes the killer's phone. Just like Deus warned, once a diary owner's phone breaks, they die. After it's over, Yuki confronts Deus, demanding to know why are there more people out there with these diaries. Deus brings Yuki to a place called the Cathedral, where a bunch of other diary owners are gathered, though their identities are hidden for now. That's when Deus finally lays it all out. This is a survival game. There are 12 people total, each with their own future diary. They're numbered from 1 to 12, Yuki is number 1, Yuno is number 2, and the serial killer from earlier was number 3. Each diary can predict the future, but how it works depends on what kind of diary they originally kept before the game started. And here's the twist. The future shown in these diaries isn't set in stone. The predictions can change depending on what the owner does, or if another player takes action first. Like when Yuki was supposed to die, but Yuno intervened and changed the outcome. The goal of the game? Use your diary to outsmart, hunt down, and eliminate the other players. Only one person gets to survive and take Deus's throne, basically becoming the new god of time and space. Once the rules are clear, everyone starts to leave, but some of the other players have already marked Yuki as a threat. After all, he's the only one who's already dodged death, which makes him dangerous. Luckily for Yuki, Yuno is right by his side and swears she'll protect him no matter what it takes. The next day at school, Yuki's anxiety kicks in. Any one of the diary owners could pop up at any moment. And sure enough, after class, a girl named Menine approaches him. She casually reveals that the serial killer Yuki faced earlier was actually his homeroom teacher. That's why he's mysteriously absent now. Yuki has no clue who she is or why she's telling him all this. Then, his phone buzzes with static, flashing a new entry. He's going to die in 3 hours. Yuno shows up to protect him, but Menine dodges, says one chilling word, die, and jumps out the window. Suddenly, bombs start exploding throughout the building. Fortunately, Yuki and Yuno are unharmed. Yuno calmly tells Yuki not to worry because she'll take care of Menene, even if that means killing her. Yuki's completely freaked out by how casually she talks about murder, but at this point, he knows he has no choice but to rely on Yuno to survive. Using their diaries, Yuno quickly calculates when and where the next bombs will explode, helping them navigate through the chaos. Meanwhile, outside, Menene threatens the rest of the students to stay in their classrooms, or she'll detonate the remaining bombs. At the same time, police arrive on the scene. But strangely, the police chief, Keigo, who's secretly the 4th diary owner, orders his his team not to take her out. Why? Because according to his diary, if Minene dies, every bomb will go off instantly. Back inside, Yuki and Yuno reunite with their classmates, but get captured almost immediately. Turns out, Minini made a deal. If the students handed Yuki over to her, she'd deactivate the bombs. Now, Yuki's been taken hostage, his phone confiscated, and the entire area rigged with landmines. Yuno, panicking, refuses to sit still. She breaks free and sprints toward Yuki, triggering the sensors and setting off explosions one by one. Minine's caught off guard by the chaos, and that's when Keigo steps in to rescue Yuki. His diary allows him to predict every future crime, so while he has no interest in becoming God, he's determined to eliminate all criminal activity happening around him. With Keigo's help, Yuno smashes through the window, and together they navigate around the landmines. As Minene prepares to trigger the remaining bombs, Yuki charges at her with a dart. He misses the phone, but ends up stabbing her in the left eye. Cornered, Minene sets off a smoke bomb and manages to escape. Yuki manages to grab his phone back. After everything settles, Keigo proposes an alliance with Yuki and Yuno. If they work together, they'll have a better shot at taking down the remaining diary owners. So far, 5 identities are known. Yuki is number 1, Yuno is number 2, the serial killer was number 3, Keigo is number 4, and Minene is number 9. With the school temporarily shut down, Keigo comes up with a plan. He wants Yuki and Yuno to act as bait to lure out the other diary owners. And where better to do that than an amusement park? The next day, Yuki and Yuno head to the park as planned. Yuki stays on high alert, but Yuno is just treating it like a full-on date, thrilled to finally spend time with him. As they go through ride after ride, Yuki starts to notice something. Maybe Yuno isn't just some crazy stalker. Maybe she really does care about him. They enjoy most of the attractions. But when Yuno suggests visiting the planetarium, Yuki refuses. Instead, they head for the Ferris wheel. Once inside, Yuno finally asks him, why didn't he want to go to the planetarium? After all, he loves stars. Yuki gets tense. How does she even know that? He's forgotten their first real moment together. Yuno reminds him. Back when they had to write about their dreams in class, both of them stayed late, struggling to come up with ideas. That's when Yuno overheard Yuki quietly saying he wished he could stargaze with his parents. But with his parents newly divorced, he wasn't sure anymore. Yuno had approached him then, offering to go stargazing with him instead. She even promised that one day she'd become his wife and they'd watch the stars together as a family. Hearing this memory, Yuki finally realizes just how deep Yuno's obsession runs. All this from one simple promise? He asks if she's hiding anything. Yuno just smiles, kisses him, and says, that's a secret. Later that night, they head to Yuno's house. Blushing, she invites him to stay over. Yuki agrees, partially because Keigo told him to stay with her for safety. But the vibe in the house? Weird. The power's cut. It's just the two of them. While Yuno is cooking, Yuki uses his diary to find the bathroom, but stumbles across a strange door. His diary says nothing about it, which means opening it would change the future entirely. Against his better judgment, Yuki opens it. The moment he does, inside the room, 3 dead bodies. Yuno suddenly appears behind him, cold and creepy. You shouldn't have opened that! Panicking, Yuki bolts, makes it home, locks himself inside. But soon, Yuno's outside, banging on his door, begging him to open up. Meanwhile, across town, Minene is still dodging the cops using her diary. A mysterious man approaches. Her diary says he's her only escape route, so she follows him to a cabin. He keeps his face hidden, gives her painkillers, and she lets her guard down. But soon, her body starts going numb. Her diary still showing no danger. That's when her phone transforms into a wooden block, and the man reveals himself. He's the 11th diary owner. The next morning, Keigo picks Yuki up. Yuki wants to spill everything that happened last night, but Yuno beats him to it, suggesting they did something embarrassing. Of course, Keigo misreads this as them hooking up. They drive out to meet a religious group called Omikata. A worker named Orin guides them to a priestess named Tsubaki, the 6th diary owner. She's sitting in a locked wooden cage. Her diary, insanely overpowered. It shows everything her followers will see or experience in the future. Yuki is visibly shaken, but Tsubaki claims she has no desire to become God. She just wants to protect her followers. Minine is being kept underground, but Tsubaki agrees to release her on one condition. Yuki has to stay with her overnight. Her diary predicts she'll die today, but since Yuki has cheated death twice, she hopes he can save her. Yuno is absolutely against this, but Keigo insists. If Yuki can prevent her death, it's worth the risk. Before Keigo leaves, Tsubaki warns Yuki, stay away from Yuno. She'll ruin your life. Not a prediction, just woman's intuition. Yuno overhears and snaps. Her rage is building. Suddenly, things spiral. The futon inside Tsubaki's cage bursts into flames. Hypnotized followers pour in, attacking each other. Yuki tries to help, but Yuno holds him back. It's a trap. Yuki had enough. He calls Yuno a freak, saying he won't trust someone who kills so easily. He rushes to save Tsubaki anyway. The sprinklers finally activate, snapping the followers out of it. Tsubaki thanks Yuki for saving her, but after reading her diary again, she discovers something terrifying. There's a disguised imposter hiding inside the shrine. Yuno, now carrying an axe, moves in to eliminate Tsubaki, but just as she does, Yuki's diary updates. He's about to die in 13 minutes. More followers rise to attack. Yuno starts wiping them out one by one. She reaches out to Yuki. Take my hand and live, or pick her and die. Yuki grabs both their hands and runs. Keigo, who's been monitoring everything, tells them to head to the main gate where backup is coming. Meanwhile, he heads into the basement to find Minene. Down below, below, Minene is tied up. The mysterious man is revealed to be Hirasaka, the 12th diary owner. His diary operates by voice memos instead of text because he's blind, but his hearing is razor sharp. He's been hypnotizing followers and manipulating everything from the shadows. His diary predicts any future injustice, much like Keigo's, but adapted for his blindness. As Yuki, Yuno, and Tsubaki try to escape, Hirasaka's followers begin regaining consciousness. Tsubaki suggests eliminating the intruder, but Yuno has had enough. She charges in to finish this. Keigo calls, warning Yuki. Hirasaka's coming after them and plans to sacrifice himself by detonating a bomb to take Tsubaki out. Even after hearing this, Yuki still refuses to leave Tsubaki behind. Yuno steps up. She creates a distraction, forcing Hirasaka to react to sound. The moment he moves, she strikes, taking him out before the bomb detonates. But by now, Yuno is completely exhausted. With Hirasaka gone, Tsubaki drops her mask completely. She admits she was never a priestess. As a child with bad eyesight, her parents faked her powers to grow a cult. After their deaths, her head servant manipulated her to exploit followers even more. The only thing that kept her going was a handmade ball from her mother, until even that was taken. Now she wants to become God and wipe out this sick world. To provoke Yuno, she even kisses Yuki right in front of her. Even with Hirasaka dead, Tsubaki's diary still shows her death incoming. Yuno, furious, starts slaughtering the remaining followers. She wounds Tsubaki and hands Yuki her phone before collapsing. Inside, Tsubaki ties Yuno up, using her as bait to lure Yuki out. Hiding, Yuki beats himself up, forever trusting Tsubaki. Finally, it hits him. Yuno, as crazy and dangerous as she is, she's the one who truly loves him. Suddenly, an announcement echoes through the shrine. Tsubaki threatens Yuki. If he doesn't come out, she'll make Yuno suffer just like she once did. Then Yuki hears Yuno scream. That's all it takes, he snaps. He can't just sit and listen anymore. He spots something nearby. A ball. It looks familiar. Could this be the handmade ball Tsubaki's mother gave her? Yuki grabs it and rushes in. He throws the ball toward her. The moment Tsubaki sees it, she freezes. Years of memories flood back. She's completely distracted. That's Yuki's chance. He pulls out his dart and destroys her diary. Just like that, Tsubaki dies. The police storm the shrine, finally cleaning up the mess. On the way home, Yuki glances over at Yuno, completely torn. What even is this girl? She lives in a house full of dead bodies, yet she's so obsessed with him, so protective, so dangerous. Despite everything, he can't help himself. He kisses her. Meanwhile, Minene surprisingly isn't arrested. Turns out Keigo secretly cut a deal with her.